talk a little bit about last week. Obviously, a little disappointed in conference not a non-conference loss here. Played a good football team. Our guys played well, played hard at times, just didn't put enough together in terms of offense. We knew going into the game that red zone was going to be huge. We felt like we could get in the red zone several times. We did. We only got 3 points. Didn't execute well enough. Defense continues to get a little better. That was one of our better defensive games against a team that's put up a lot of yards and points against other teams. Again, a very good team, a team that would pretty much the same guys we'd played last year. But disappointed that we just didn't get it done, and all our guys are disappointed. Now we got three conference games left. We've got to do better. I think all these teams are very quality teams. We got to make sure our guys stay on top of it. We've got to win 2 of them to have a chance to even go to a bowl, which there's going to be probably a lot of bowl-eligible teams this year. So in our conference, so we just got to take them one at a time and try to get better, try to improve, and keep their enthusiasm. Our guys are, they're into it, still into it, working hard. Seniors had a great meeting on Sunday, and they're excited. Obviously, they're excited that got 3 more chances. So we'll go this week to Orlando and see what happens. UCF, a team that's been kind of up and down. They've changed quarterbacks, a lot like us, over the last few weeks. They've settled in the last couple of games with more of a running style quarterback, kid that makes plays, made some mistakes, but they're running the Oregon offense, and they put some running backs in the backfield that have a lot of speed, quickness. So we'll kind of go back to nowadays you have to have 2 game plans. You have to have one for a pro style and one for a spread team. And our next 3 will basically be spread. Now, there's a different spread teams. There's a run spread team, such as the one we'll see this week. They run and throw. And then there's spread teams that pretty much want to throw it. Pretty much like Tulsa, a little bit more maybe like Memphis in a couple of weeks. But this one is run pass, try to get the job done with a guy that can make a big play out of a bad play. And of course, they've gone to the young kid that has done a good job. They've stayed in most every game. Their record's pretty much like ours, except they beat Connecticut and we didn't. And so we're looking forward to a challenge on the road. I've not been to Central Florida. That's one place that we have not played in the last few years. They wasn't on our schedule first couple of years. Now we go down there. They came here last year. Defensively, they're a lot like us, but I'd say a little bit more like Houston. They run a 3 and a 4-man front, got guys flying all over the place. They try to give you bad plays. They've got good speed, quickness. They're always going to have a quickness and speed, coming from the state of Florida. I mean, that's they're one of the growing teams down there, along with South Florida, along with the other few teams that they have in that state. But they recruit a lot from that area, and you can tell they get a lot of playmakers. So Scott Frost, coming from Oregon, he's done a good job. Came in a tough situation where they were 0 for last year. Came in and kind of righted the ship. They played a pretty tough schedule, Michigan, and some of the other teams, Maryland, and so they've been like us, trying to fight uphill battles sometimes on some of the teams that they're non-conference, but that's what our conference is going to do. So we're looking forward to going to Orlando. What we got to do this week, got to get our guys' mind in the right direction, still keep the enthusiasm positive, go in the same direction we've been going, trying to get better on offense, but continue to get better defensively. There was times last week, got a little bit tired. Again, we were out there most of the game. I'd say probably not quite 2/3 of the game on defense, but our offense know they got to put a hand in the cookie jar to try to help the defense out a little bit and make plays. Questions?
You still committed to gunning?
Yeah, we'll have a rotation this week. We'll see what happens as we go through this week's practice, because game plan wise, you want to go with the guy that you think gives you the best chance, whether you're going to run the ball more, throw it more, those type of things. But as of today, is he the starter? I'd probably say we don't know who the starter is today. But it was kind of the same way last week. We kind of gave him the nod because he'd played pretty good the week before, but he's still in the mix.
What
Mike Boone's another situation. We don't know. They're still evaluating him on his injury. It's a foot injury. Bob Mangine and I talked right before we came in. It doesn't really look good. He came out after the first, maybe the second kickoff return. I think the return that we had for 35 yards hurt his foot, and he didn't play the rest of the game. But Tion's ready to go. He's going to have to carry the load if he doesn't play for this week. He played. I thought Tion played very good, but you get a little bit tired. You need more than one running back, and we'll have to fall back to Taylor Boose and Banchbach and Buckley, guys that have not played much, to help Tion out if that's the situation. Well, it's experience. Mike was one of our playmakers. Mike's the guy that can make you miss. Last week on our opening drive, I think he was responsible for 5 missed tackles on his opening drive, making people miss, getting that extra 5 or 6 yards, and that's what you got to have. I mean, that's what everybody has. We have a tough time. People spinning, coming out of a arm tackle, and Mike is a guy that can really make you miss. So if he does not play, he will dearly be missed.
When you say it doesn't look good for you mean just for this week or for the whole season?
Well, we'll start with this week. The doctors are evaluating what they want to do, if they need to do anything. It's just one of those, it's sore, it's hurt. Is there any damage? They really can't tell till swelling comes down a little bit. And so, they basically told me, just don't speculate till we see where he's at, because it could be one of those things where it could get a lot better in a short period of time.
Can you say what specifically the injury is?
Just his foot.
So you have a chance to play this week, or you ruling out from this?
I won't rule him out yet. They said don't do that until they, finish the evaluation. Had a little bit of a swelling, and so they wanted to wait and see.
Have you had a chance to make any changes with the kicking game? It's been 3 straight weeks that a kick of some kind has been missed. With the field goal last week, extra point the week before that, and another field goal before that.
And our extra point right before we went in at warm-up, we missed that. No, that's where we're at. We don't have an alternative. Kid does great. He had a great first half of the year in terms of being a guy that we went to. I think sometimes the pressure gets behind you a little bit, knowing that, hey, each week I'm gonna have to kick more, do better. I'm proud of him. He's got thrown into the mix, and he struggled a little bit. But one of the games was really not his fault because of the holder we had. We didn't have his holder because he was injured. But no, we don't have an alternative.
The other night about what else can you do with the offense? You said we tried everything.
Yeah.
So now, a few days later, what can you do?
Well, you can look at different. 2 weeks ago we ran 31 formations. This past week we run 28 formations. You can look at different combinations of who's on the field at the same time. Misdirection plays. We tried to do a little bit more of that last week. When it comes down to it, it's just consistency. I think all you got to do is look at it. Just consistency, whether it's consistent right play we've called at the right time, or do we change it to the right play from the quarterback, once he gets there, or do we execute, do we block the right guys? I'm never going to blame the players. It's just accumulation of things. But, last year we had the ability to make a 3rd and 15 and throw to a guy that was covered because he got jump everybody. We don't have that this year. We don't have that type of player. So everything that we get, we're a blue-collar team. We got to go earn it. You hadn't seen many times where we've out-fought a guy for a ball, or you've seen a few times where we break a tackle and we get downfield and we break another tackle. Those are few or far between. If you look at any offense, somebody somewhere, we've got to either get us in the right play against their wrong defense, or we've got to make a big play out of a bad play that's happened. But that's any football team. That's any level.
Coaches often say that they have a small margin for error. In this case, it sounds like you have a small margin for success.
Well, yeah, there's the window's smaller because we don't have again, you go back to like I said, the type of speed that we had on the outside opened up everything on the inside last year. We have not been a threat except for a couple of plays. I thought we started out the year pretty good with Devin Gray on post routes, go routes, where we made plays and it opened everything. Purdue game, for instance, it opened up the running game. It opened up things that we made things happen. It gave us a better chance. But when you can consolidate, being a defensive coach, when you can consolidate and maybe not have to help on the outside with more than one guy, not have to double team Chris Moore or Shaq Washington, if you can play head up, and that makes everything else more difficult for the offense to execute. So, sometimes we don't do the right things, but sometimes also the defense is doing better things than what we're doing. I mean, we would like to say on defense that we're playing better. We are playing better. We got more guys making plays. We're getting turnovers. We're getting the ball back. I'm thinking at halftime the other day, the way our defense would play the year before we played Brigham Young, we couldn't get off the field. And there were several times in the first half where there was a lot of 3 and outs, and our offense got to go back out there. We had the ball a lot. I mean, everything was working good. And then, it seems like we just kind of hit the wall. And a little bit on both sides, defense and offense, because we had too many long drives in the second half. Our defense, we got to make a third down. There was a 3rd and 12 and a 3rd and 17, and I think even a 3rd and 8 that they scored on. The other 2 were just third down conversions. And we got to start with coaching and getting us in the right defense, and then we have to execute and not. Sometimes we panic a little bit, on 3rd and long, because we got guys, like Perry Young. He's going to be a heck of a player for us. He makes a lot of plays, but sometimes he tries to make too many plays. He's out in the wrong position. And we got to do a better job coaching.
Coach, you addressed the post-game confrontation on Sunday with the statement. As somebody who's done this a long time in college football, how important is a coach's relationship with the fans?
It's very important. Very important. Good question, Joe. So we'll finish up with this. I was totally wrong, and I apologize for it, but I want to say this. I've been doing this a long time, and you got to hold your composure. And that's what I said a few weeks ago. Holler to me, don't worry, don't holler at the players, all that stuff. And that was at me. Some of the guys that I've worked under that are Hall of Fame guys and are I respect to no end. Of course, I get calls from them. What in the heck are you doing? What are you doing? And I mean, that's I've been president of AFCA. You don't let it get to you. And this, when you go through tough seasons, it's tough on fans. I know that, but you got to understand the perspective of coaches and players. Come up, spend a week with us all week, getting ready for a game, and there's a lot of scenarios that you go through of just trying to, hey, I'm trying to get us over the goal line. Give us a lead. Give us one time a lead where we can make people go. So you get frustrated. But I'm telling you that nobody's fault but mine. I mean, you don't do that. I mean, I hadn't slept since then. And of course, I hadn't slept a lot this year anyway because we're struggling a little bit. Obviously, everybody knows that. But you can't do that. You can't put yourself in a situation where you let it get to you. But frustration gets there. It gets there, I'm telling you. And, but I've been frustrated other times. This kind of caught me by surprise a little bit, But let me go back and make a little scenario here. I'm not making any excuses. I'm not blaming anybody. And I would never do that. But, we go into a game, we fight hard. We lose probably 3 guys maybe for the year. We got guys fighting their tail off. And I'm proud of our guys. I mean, we could have folded our tent big time. But they didn't do it. They fought to the end. 4 years ago we got here, we decided as a team, coaches and players, to go to the band after the game, win or lose. I mean, we respect our band, our cheerleaders, our dance team, all of them. We want to let everybody, and we recognize the hard work and effort that they put into a football game and a basketball game, everything, because they put hours into it. And so we decided at that time that we would go over and sing the alma mater with our band. Terry Friends has done a great job. 40 years of being here, he made a great band out of nothing, okay? And we want to support them, win or lose. And so we go over there every game, and it's hard. It's hard for coaches and players after a game to go over and you know, and do that. But our guys want to do it. Our coaches want to do it, and we do it. And so we're doing the alma mater, and you can hear boos coming. And people are not booing them. They're booing me, okay? And I want our players to know that. Of course, our players don't know what's going on. And you don't do that during an alma mater. Come on, okay? And so, and I don't know who it was, but frustration gets in because I'm a protective adult that's kind of protecting his kids. And so we're walking in, and this guy caught me surprised. Now, they do it. It's nothing I didn't know. Every game at halftime and at the end of the game, this happens. Since I've been here, win or lose. I mean, it's the same group. It was before I got here, other coaches. And, you know, I've got recruits there, I got parents there, and I hit the wall. And I should never have done that. So I'm not blaming anybody. But we all got to understand what we're trying to build here. I'm here to build a program. I'm not going anywhere. I didn't come here to leave. I came here to stay. And our program is much better right now than it was when I got here. Now, it ain't showing on the scoreboard, and we got some guys in here that write stuff that I don't know what you want to write it for, but we're going to be here and we're going to win games. We have got to get better in recruiting, and those recruits down there hear that. I mean, that just hits us in the mouth. It's like, don't worry about it. I mean, you know, we want this thing to fall apart. Well, it ain't going to fall apart. We want it to get better and build it the right way, okay? So that's kind of the scenario that happened. And I promise you I won't do it again. I hope. It's hard. I mean, it's hard, but it's been a tough year. I've had tough ones before. I've been scolded by the best. My mother, who recently passed away, was the best at scolding me, and she would not have been very proud. But again, I heard from people that I respect very much, and I knew when I did it, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, don't fall to that level. So I told our players I apologize to them on Sunday, and it won't happen again because I tell them not to do it. You know, you don't respond, okay? Because I'm their teacher. I'm their parent, okay? So let's all get on the same page. It's going to be a tough year. I mean, we've got to scrap and claw for everything we got from the next 3 games. You know, as long as the higher-ups want me here, I'm going to be here, and they're behind me. So let's do it the right way. Let's build this program. I mean, it's a young program that hadn't won a lot of football games, okay? We're young, considered teams that have been around 150 years. Well, we're talking about 12, 15 years that we've had a winning football program here. And we want to get it better. We just don't want to win games. We want to win championships, more of them. And so there's a lot of work to do. And I'm the guy that can get it done. I've been there. I've done that. And I didn't come here to leave. I didn't come here to let 4 or 5 losses run me out of here. I didn't do that. And I didn't come here to retire. I got more energy now than I've ever had, okay? So let's get this thing and do it right. Let's be positive. And of course, I know people like to be negative. That's sales. But I'm not into that part. I'm into the positive stuff. But I apologize. Won't do it again. Let's go in the right direction. Let's build it, and let's win a lot of games.
Do you worry about mending fences with fans after doing something like that? How
Any what?
Mending fences with fans, how to keep them on your side or get them on your side?
Many? What kind of?
Do you worry about mending fences?
Oh, mending fences. Mending fences is winning games. I know everybody wants to win, you know. I'm the football coach that tries to – I got more to do, obviously, than winning games. You win games because you build a program from within. You don't build it from, you know, putting Band-Aids on it. We've done that the last few years. We've had to. We've had to. Running back, defensive end, defensive backs, all the guys that we recruited, okay? But sooner or later, you're going to have to pay the price for that, and I said that earlier. But we're going to do it from within. We're not going to build it from without. And our fans will be with us. I mean, I understand. I don't like, you know, I complain when my pro football team loses, you know, and I'm a coach. You know, I've watched it, and I watch games on TV and wonder, what'd that coach do that for? You know, because when you turn from a coach to a fan, it's different. When you're a coach, you got to understand all the little things that are behind the scenes of why this happened, why that didn't happen, and our fans will be with us. And you know, we've won a lot of games here, and we'll continue to do that. And again, I'm glad to be here. And I'm not politics. Everybody's saying you come here to retire. If I came here to retire, I'd have retired and not came here. I don't need to work, okay? I like coaching. I like kids. I like educating kids. I like being around them. And when you put in 15 hours a day, you dang sure better like it. I'm telling you, 7 days a week.
You mentioned you lost some guys. Could you provide an update on, you were missing Tyson anyway, right? Ray?
Yeah, Landon Brazil tore his knee up. He's out. Gilbert is out. His knee, tore his knee up. And of course, we don't know about Mike. But, that was a tough game for both teams. I think they lost 2 or 3 guys. That was a tough game. This is a physical sport. But, as I said, you win with your entire team. You don't win with just your starters. Your backups have got to come in. They got to play. When we won the conference championship 2 years ago, we lost Jose Williams, and we had to bring Mike Boone up, and he played running back for us. We won the conference championship. He and Tion got hurt. We had to play Rod Moore, other junior college player that we brought in. We don't have a junior college player this year. We've got a freshman that could play for us, that he could help us. I'm not doing it. He hadn't played all year. You don't want to do that. You don't want to ruin your program at your building just to say you're going to be a little bit better at this position. So we're past that point. I redshirted 90% of them the last 2 years, and sooner or later it'll show up. But you just got to pay the price at that point.
We want Darius Ray and Tyson be back this week, or?
Hopefully Tyson practices. Darius Ray, I don't know. His is more cervical, a strain. Offensive lineman hitting people all the time.
And what's Tyson's injury?
Tyson was ankle. He turned his ankle against East Carolina.